where the wrestling truth resides.
The cops got called on Tony Atlas. And he was just like, are you kidding me? On Tony Atlas? Well, I don't know if we're going to open that can of worms either.
Probably.
Do you want to?
It was a night that Chris Hamrick was there. Tony Atlas was there. Gino Martino was there. And Sonny's out back, and he's changing by all of them because he knows all of them, and they're all shooting the shit with each other. They're all like, all the old guys are sitting together chatting to chat, and I'm running around running the show, whatever. And I get a something happened where someone ran out and was like, you need to come out back right now. Tony Atlas is trying to kill Coach Beavis. Kevin, if you're watching this, I'm just telling the story. Let's just get it out there. It's old shit. Don't get butthurt. So I come running out back, and Tony has Kevin by the collar and lifted him up like this. Is like, don't you ever fucking talk to like me like that, you motherfucker. I'll kill you right here. I'll kill you where you stand. Like you. And Gino and Chris Hamrick are trying to calm Tony down. Like, calm down. And Coach, I just see Kevin's little feet dangling, kicking.
Yeah, Tony can hold him up there with one hand, probably.
And I'm like, so I de-escalated the situation, and I'm trying to find out what happened. Well, Kevin was arguing about something, and he was pissed off, and he was literally just blowing up at everybody. He's like, you can go fuck yourself, and you asshole. Like he called Tony an asshole. Like, you asshole, you piece of shit. But he was, I don't know what pissed off Kevin because I didn't catch that part, but I heard that like he mouthed off to Tony, and Tony was in the middle of changing. He's like, what'd you see to me, boy? And he grabbed him by his fucking throat, and he held him up under the water more like this. And I just remember seeing Kevin's legs flailing. So supposedly, the person who called the cops was Chris Berry's wife, God rest her soul. She called because she heard about it. She called the cops. Cops show up. Obviously, Kevin's not going to press charges on Tony. And the cops showed up, and they're like, why are we even here?
Yeah.
But they wanted to talk to Tony. And so Sonny was sitting there, and I'm like, Sonny, I got to run the show. You saw what happened, right? He's like, yeah. Can you go with Tony to make sure they don't arrest Tony? I'd really hate to see Mr. USA, Tony Atlas in a cop car. He's like, bet, I'll go out there. So Sonny goes out. Sonny's dressed in his work clothes, like when he works at the dealership. So he looks all professional.
Right.
And Tony's dressed in his gear. So they go out there to talk to the cops. By the end of it, I finally come out to check and make sure everything. Carl, the owner, is standing there. They're all shooting the shit with the cops. Cops are all laughing, getting pictures with Tony Atlas. Like with their phones. And Sonny and Carl are just like wrestling. And Sonny, if everything's cool, he's like, oh yeah. Kevin's so not pushing any charges, and everything got dropped. It just got blown out of hand because Chris Berry's wife called the cops, and it's so facto. The cops end up just were excited to meet Tony Atlas and wanted to get pictures with him. So now
that's great.
We're getting pictures with Tony Atlas. I'm like, great. I'm gonna go back to running the show now. Goodbye. And Sonny's just sitting there in his like suit, and he's just like, yeah. And that was the night that Gino wrestled Chris Hamrick, actually. So that's a cool little night. It was a good show. I just wish I didn't get all the full deets still. I still not got the full deets. I just remember turning the corner and seeing Kevin's feet dangling there as Tony's got him up in the air against the wall like this.
Yeah, don't fuck with Tony. I've seen Tony mad one time. And that was he wanted to go home, and he was giving it to Larry. And Larry's backing off. He's like, it's like, okay, Tony, no, we'll get you a ride. Just don't worry about it. Just give us a minute. We'll get you going. Yeah, it was like that's the only time I've ever seen Tony heated.
I've seen him once at a show. This was like an IW. You know what? It was the last anniversary. No. This was like the around like probably time I was training. I had heard him like yell out while like somebody was locking up, and hearing his voice was terrifying.
Was that the day that Roadblock spit on him for real?
No, I don't. This is a Brewer show. Wait, was that a thing?
You gotta tell them.
We gotta tell the story now.
So
Wait, hold on. Before you say that, Kevin,
It's
I am good. I'm a drunk asshole.
It would clear it all.
Thank you, buddy. I knew you guys smoothed it over right before the cops even got there. It just was stupid that the cops even got called. But you gotta respect Chris Berry's wife for doing that, looking out
Everyone's
for you.
hot for 5
She's a good
minutes.
soul.
Everyone's
She's a good
calmed
soul.
down.
But anyway, back to the Tony getting spit on by Roadblock story, which everybody's gonna love. I'm sure Kevin's gonna remember this and love this story. So I'm in, like, I remember watching it happen because we had a monitor out back and I couldn't believe it happened. It's John the Bomb and Tony Atlas versus a version of the new Leatherheads, which was Big Gene. Y'all know Big Gene O'Bauer.
Yeah.
Me, it was Big Gene Giroux. I gave him his name of Big Gene Giroux. He changed the last name to Bauer because he liked it better. Someone else at Rumble had given him that last name and he really liked it, so he's changed it. But anyway, there's Big Gene and Roadblock as the Leatherheads versus Tony Atlas and John the Bomb. And I think Roadblock was putting the heat on because this was not supposed to happen. Roadblock's putting the heat on John the Bomb, and he's goes to fake spit at Tony, hawks a full-on loogie at Tony, and it hits Tony right in the chest. Tony doesn't even wait for the tag. You see him grab the ropes, get in the ring, just full-on stomp right over to Roadblock, who's in the ring with John the Bomb, grabs him, takes him to the corner, and you go, as loud as you can possibly hear, he goes, "You want to spit on me, motherfucker?" Brian pans him across the chest, picks him up again by his beard, yanks him back up. One more time. He does like 2 or 3 times.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Beats the piss out of him in the corner. And Bomb was smart. He grabbed Big Gene and said, "We're taking it home." And Big Gene and John the Bomb, while Tony's beating the shit out of Roadblock in the corner, John the Bomb's taking it home to Big Gene, and that was the finish. That was not how the match was supposed to go. It went like 6 minutes tops.
Oh no!
Roll up 1, 2, 3. Let's go home.
It was like 5 to 6 minutes.
I feel like I saw that recent. Never mind.
You want to spit on me, motherfucker? Like, I was just like, we're all watching from the monitor. Like, you see Roadblock come out back. He's just 3 big handprints on his fucking chest. You can see where Tony had yanked him up by his goatee. Not lifted him, yanked him.
He's lucky Tony didn't pick him up and throw him into the 4th row.
Please tell me this is this match. I might have found it.
If you had found it, this is going to be glorious.
Yeah.
He spat on him right there.
Oh! Immediately found it.
One more time. Here we go. Here comes the loogie.
I mean, it's a good heel spot for spit on the baby face and come in all like house fire.
Whenever he's like, please get out. He's like, no, he spit on me. He's dying. Tony's like, I'm going to kill him.
Huh.
Okay.
Basically, that was a tag.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah. Watch. Beats the shit out of him. Hold on. He goes after him again in a minute. Yep. Right there. Oh, spit on me, motherfucker.
Spit on me, motherfucker. Oh, my God.
Rewind it. I got to see it again. See the first shot. You can tell. See, he comes in. He's got some fire in his sprint. That chops him pretty much. He goes nice and big. I like how he switches to nice with Big Gene.
Yeah,
and then like, fuck you, Roadblock.
Nice work punch. Roadblock.
My God.
Roadblock's regretting life at this moment.
He's beating the shit out of him. Whenever you ever seen Tony just stomp someone in the corner,
The ref is just like,
you picked him up by it. No, go back. You just picked him up by his goatee one more time. Go back. You'll see him where he lifts him up by his goatee. Watch. Tony never stomps anybody. Watch. He just grabs him by his goatee and yanks him to his feet. Get him, baby.
Hey, boy. I'll beat your ass.
Nope, not done yet. We're gonna take it home now. Ron Baum's like, let's take it home. And this is the finish. John the Bomb does a spot to now he's going back at night. John the Bomb, this has got a fucked up ending. Watch it. It looks stupid. The ending looks really stupid.
Yeah, I mean, it's, yeah.
No, it gets botched. It totally gets botched.
He's just joking about the corner.
Oh, God.
Tony is done with fucking Roadblock.
Who's that on the floor?
Oh, Gene hit his head.
Yeah, who's on the floor?
Oh, spit on me, motherfucker. Wow.
Do we want to watch that again?
Now you want to see him get chopped again, right?
Yeah.
And then I love how, like you said, he drug him up in the corner by his goatee. I was like, I remember him dragging him up in the corner by his goatee. I'm like, oh, this is gonna suck for you.
Cat, you need to send
The
this to
first
Ben.
shot, that first back shot, you could tell he's pissed.
You need to send this to Ben and be like, started at this time frame, this timestamp, and Ben will die.
Yeah.
He Tony's like, fuck you. Shoots the tag. Oh. No. That's more than enough. He goes nice to Gene, but then he goes back to Roadblock.
So nice.
Fuck you.
And he's like, fuck you.
I just see Roadblock again. I'm like, go piss off Tony Atlas for me.
Oh, I just love it. Then he yanks him up by his goatee right here, which is fantastic. Like, yeah, come here, you little fucking gremlin.
That's an insult to gremlins everywhere.
How often have you seen Tony throw those type of chops? Like, never.
Never.
That's how you know he was pissed.
And then just chokes him out in the buckle.
He does. He doesn't let him move. He's like, oh, we're done.
We're done.
He's yelling at him right now. He's like, you ever spit on me again, I'm going to kill your ass.
Hold him on the buckle.
That's what he said to him. He's like, if you ever spit on me again, like,
I think he says it right there. He spit on me. You know he pissed me off. He said.
I told you.
Oh,
The fact that this footage exists. Now, fact, also, I'm going to give it John the Bomb to know better to take that shit home. Once he knew Tony was pissed, John's like, oh, I'm taking this shit home. Let's go to the finish, guys. And they fucked up the finish, all the shit. But at least John the Bomb knew enough because he's experienced enough to go, okay, Tony's pissed. Time to take it home.
That literally should have been a small package, like a quick roll up 1, 2, 3.
Yeah,
Let's get
I'll still give him credit because, like, you knew he was like, oh, at least I'm going to do this finish that we planned that Eric booked, and then they fucked it up. At least they knew better. Like, Tony's pissed. Time to take it home.
Speaking of Eric booked Tony shoots, Levi Lexington.
That was not supposed to happen. And Tony apologized both to me and to Amber after that. So that story I built up an angle, and Amber had a bunch of family coming. This is like Amber's first really big match of her career as Levi Lexington. And so I used to do these TV spots on Fox, Good Morning Wrestling, and we do them like every month for our shows. And I had Amber come on as Levi Lexington and interrupt me and cut a promo to the TV camera on Tony. It was a great promo.
Easy now, fellas. Levi, do you have anything to say back to Eric or to Tony Atlas as you prepare for this match?
Quite frankly, I've said and done enough with you. You're old news. You're out the door long time. So
I'll show you.
I'm going to talk to.
I'll show you old news.
Guys. Take it easy. Take it easy, Eric.
Tony Atlas. I was hoping you'd be here, but you're not. Listen up, Pops. I may be the new kid on the block, but you good? It does not mean that you should take me lightly. It does not mean that you should underestimate me. I don't care if you're a WWE Hall of Famer. I don't care if you're a Hall of Famer at the local bingo hall that you play at every week, probably. Come Friday, August 5th, I'm going to make you wish that you had never gotten into this business so many years ago. Out with the old, in with the new. Long live Levi Lexington. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Tony actually had saw it and thought it was a shoot. So step forward.
Because of that.
He thought it was part shoot.
I thought it was just because of how they called the match, and he didn't.
No, because he thought it was part. He saw it. And he wasn't very happy about it. Like I said, that was a great promo, but he thought it was part shoot. So come time of the show, I guess this is after I found out after that Tony thought it was part shoot. Because I didn't know this till Tony told me after the match. Actually, I stopped using Tony after a while after that on purpose. He knew he fucked up. He apologized. Tony's never like that. He just his anger got over him. And anyway, the day of the show, I didn't know that he'd seen the promo and was heated. Again, though, I should have known better because it was on Fox. It was on TV, so I'm sure he saw it somewhere. And we also used to air it on the YouTube channel.
Yep.
And anyway, they had planned it so that I had booked it so that the only way it would make sense for me, because Amber being so much smaller than Tony, is that if Amber jumped Tony in the entrance.
Right.
And Tony agreed that made sense. And so that's what we were going to do. Well, I guess because Amber ran out so fast,
Yep.
Amber blasted Tony in the back. But
Tony,
yeah. But Tony's the size of a brick shithouse.
yeah.
So when Amber hit Tony, Tony went, I don't think so, Tim. Turned around and proceeded to beat the shit out of Amber for the entirety of the matchup.
Obliterated the entire match.
God.
And to Amber's credit, as Levi Lexington, tried to get it back on track a couple different times, but Tony wasn't having it.
No.
Tony was mad. He thought after I guess because he saw the promo, and when he got jumped and it was stiff, he thought it was a shoot. And back in the day, that's what things like that used to happen back in the day.
I remember
So I understood Tony's perspective, and he apologized to me afterward. And I said, Tony, what? I can't air that. You just beat the shit out of my champ, one of my champs.
Yeah.
He was the junior weight champion.
Yeah. And then
At the time, now it's Amber is she, but yes.
during that time, like when people were talking about it, people thought it was just because of the way that the match was put together, and then like obviously didn't go the way that it was. Figured that Tony was just shooting on Amber because Amber was not listening to any spots that were being called or anything, and that's how it.
I was in the same boat as you were until I talked to both sides, and then when Tony said I had seen the promo, and I thought it might have been thought it might have been a shoot, and then when Levi Lexington blasted Tony in the entranceway, it made him really think it was a shoot, so he started shooting back.
So yeah, after I saw that.
So I was like, okay, that makes sense, because Tony has told me of some really crazy stories of back in the day, having to fight his way out of bars and shit.
Yeah.
As tests, like he'd get brought into a territory,
Right.
see if he could defend himself. He'd go into a bar, and because he's black, no offense, they'd take him to like a bar that people like that should have been in there.
Yep.
And they'd have people try to jump him. He'd have to fight his way out, and if he fought his way out, he got the booking. And I'm like, oh, so I understood where Tony was coming from, because I've heard all these stories from just traveling with him over the years. So when that shit happened, I was like, oh, fuck. I felt bad for Amber, because Amber had all family in the audience, like a good 20 people or so, and just watched Amber get beat up by Tony Atlas. Someone he watched as a kid. She watches as a kid now.
I remember telling you after I saw that, because I was supposed to wrestle Tony. I wrestled Tony the next night. I literally looked at you and I was like, I don't want to do it. I had just won the tag titles with Ricky Williams, and my first ever title. And I looked at you and I went, I don't want to do it. I was like, I genuinely don't want to do it. And then the next night was in Fairfield, and I wrestled him, and he was all cool, calm, and collected, and everything was fine. And it was even cool because like he was chill with like not going over.
And Ricky had worked Tony multiple times.
Right.
The Canadian and the Mr. USA. Come on, now you didn't think I was going to book that multiple times?
Well, it was just me because Ricky couldn't come to the Fairfield show. So
correct, but like that's like Ricky wasn't going to lie to you. Travis was going to tell you like Tony's nice and easy to work with. It's just that scenario. I can understand being scared for you.
So I was like.
And then
I don't want to die.
And you saw the Roadblock incident, so I'm sure you're like, I don't want to get murdered by a Hall of Famer today.
Yeah, I'm watching this on repeat, basically.
You keep watching it, don't you? You're wrong.
It's so funny. Just him choking him out at the end. He goes, "Yeah."
I just like how he interchanged. Like, 1 minute he's beating the shit out of Roadblock. Hi, Gene. Takes Gene nice and easy to the corner, and then back to beating the shit out of Roadblock. I'm like, okay. At least Gene didn't get any brunt of that shit.